here should be better. This time around. And yeah, we're doing the red llama. I also noticed that there's a, what was it, like 20-year celebration version of this. So since it probably uses the same chip, that could be fun to build also. But I'm gonna be, of course, making this one. And hold on. There we go. So yeah. I made the board yesterday, so all we have to do really is get these in there, and this switch. This is not gonna be that long of a build anymore. I'm gonna be streaming something else though here, so maybe we can go through some pedals that I've built and box them up in my test box. But yeah, so we got our pots here, gain 1 mega, linear and logarithmic 10k here. So that's what's up. There we go. All right, and let's get the iron hot. Gonna be doing the solid core wires, hookup wires. Where's our camera's a bit shaky, it seems. There we go. That's a good view, I think. So of course we need the 9 volt and the ground, and volume 1 is also going ground. So I think I'm just gonna do, we have room, we do, so I'm just gonna take it there on that row then. That's what I'll be doing. So, and this was volume 10k. Volume 2 to output, volume 1 to ground. And this is the first lock. That one. So it'll go there. And then I'll have a ground wire going into my test box, of course. There we go. That should. Like there. Alright. That's good. Volume 2 to output. Do I have any blue solid core? I don't. Damn it. Oh, actually, so I have a bag of used ones, so I can check if I have a blue on here. I'll just use this. Yeah. I try not to waste stuff that is totally usable still. Good practice. There we go. And I have this little, I made a video about what kind of gear I'm using right now. So I have a big pedal board, and then I have a smaller one. And the smaller one is kind of a utility box. So what I'm gonna be doing is the test box. I'm gonna hook up my guitar into that one, and then it's gonna be going into that pedal board, and it has two Wampler preamps over there and speaker emulation, and then those are going into my audio interface input 1, and we should be hearing that input when I start playing. Hopefully it should work. So alright, so that's hooked up. Then we got our gain 2 and 3 and gain. Switch to the gain 1. Yeah, gain 2 and 3 you could go there. So we're gonna take our copper wire, do the link. And 2 and 3 are those locks over there from here. 3 and then in the middle 2, of course. There we go. And then I'll take a yellow one. Yeah, I mean, I do have a little bit of few boards left. I mean, I could be doing something else. I'd have to check what I can do with these boards. Oh, and there's 1, 2. I could be doing something small, but I haven't really looked up anything. Nothing at the moment I have looked up. There we go. That's it. That's the trick I do. You gotta connect the lugs. Alright, and then gain 2 and 3 are going over it there. There we go. I'm just gonna cut that clean. Alright, and then we got a switch. So let's take the switch like 2 first. Gain 1. There we go. to switch to. Yep. I actually used to work in assembly, so I did some soldering there too, but usually not. It was a bit more, I'll say, streamlined, so it was crimping cables and, you know, just quick connection stuff and so on. Which of course you could basically, you could do that with pedals as well, but then you are probably picking up a CAD program already. I do have videos about that too on my channel, so, you know, if you're interested in making your own circuit boards, I'll give you an example. Like that, or that. And then you can do the face plates for your pedals too. I did make an instructional video about that. So, and this is a nice way to get like professional looking pedals, I think. But yeah, it's not as hard as it seems. I think when I fired up KiCad the first time, it took me 3 days to get PCB in a condition that I got it manufactured, and it worked the first time. So yeah, it is you can go take that route as well with DIY pedals, I'll say. And the results are, you know, it's if you really want to make pedals more reliable, I think, yeah, then it's the way to go, really. And I've actually also sold a few pedals. I made Vero pedals for people, and I'm much more confident in selling something that I've put on a circuit board PCB. So yeah, then it's, I think, a really good idea to learn how to use KiCad if you want to be building pedals that you intend to sell for people, because then you probably do want to be reliable with your stuff. So that was the output, and this volume 3 goes over there, and then all we have left is putting the input on, and then the chip in place. And what I heard about the chips are that they can be, well, let's see how mine is, but I did sometimes certain chips can be, you know, there's fakes around. Well, what isn't like faked this time and edge. Oop. Well, I'll put it there. So yeah, and then they can necessarily not work the way or produce the sound they should, of course. but this is ordered from a reliable source. That's why I always tell people, like, don't go to Amazon or eBay to, especially, I made a video, it's coming up, about the common pedal building mistakes, and I think the first mistake I mentioned there is like, don't buy parts, especially the outboard parts from eBay or, you know, and buy outboard parts, I mean like the jacks, the switches and so on. So yeah, you want these to be quality. And same with the stomp with the switches and so on. Trust me, I've done the mistake myself. That's why it's easy for me to say like, no, don't do it. All right, then let's put the chip in place. And there we go. $4049 Ube. There, and that way around. Yes. Then let's turn the pots to 0. I'll turn my soldering iron off. Roll my solder back. Oh yeah, this is my cool little, I got 3 thicknesses of wire. Oh, damn it. I pulled that a bit too hard. But yeah, I just wanted to make something like this. So it's a easy little plywood build I did. I like doing DIY stuff like this. Especially with trash, make trash into something useful. All right, so here we go. I am ready to hook this up into the test box. All right, so here we go. That's the input. That was the output. We get our power from there and our ground from there. And then I'll take my battery, hook it up. There we go. And then let's see if we can hear our guitar. All right. Huh. Having some technical issues here, it seems. So, how do I need to route this? Ah, goddamn! I thought I had it ready to go, but oh, there we go. That should do it. All right, there we go. Got it working. The other desk right now. So, hold on. Oops. Hold on. Oh, it's too loud. Still too loud. Setting up. Alright, I think we're happy with that. So, happy with that. For now at least. So, then I'll do something here. Okay. And yeah, that's my clean sound. So alright, so let's then turn this on. Got no sound because our volume is down, but oh. Got some motorboating sound here. And squealing. kind of wondering how badly. No, okay, it's good. Switch. Oh yeah, so if I bring the tone up from my guitar. So the squealing. So the switch is, I'd say, pretty useless. The gain is full. Let's see if still squealing. Yeah, the squealing doesn't stop. How about we turn the volume down? Still. Yeah, the squealing is like meh, no. So that's what the people say, it could be the chip. But then it's kind of, I mean, I would try something here with the switch. I mean, you could probably, I'm not sure which part I would start messing around with, but I'm sure you can do something about the squeal. I would assume so. So yeah, but let's hear it just for a moment. Let's turn the gain all the way down. Oh, and the sound without it. So that's what we have, and then let's bring it to unity gain. I'd say that's it, and then let's start bringing in the fuzz. More. It seems pretty like sensitive to interference, and then especially at the unity gain. And then crank the fuzz. but what I would say about this build is like, nah, wouldn't be the first fuzz I would be building. Like quite like underwhelming. And yeah, the chip. I mean, if that's the squeal is just too bad. This is one of those probably that you need to box up if you want to get rid of all the extra noise. But in the end, I'd say nothing special here. So yeah, not what I would build if I wanted a cool fuzz. But for that reason, we could do something else here. So I'm gonna take a old build and we're gonna hook this up. And this is something I did while I was starting out. And since then I have changed, as I've been telling, like don't get the cheap stuff. So I have changed the jacks, the switch probably too, and yeah, maybe these for better ones, because like I said, the cheap parts just crap out on you really easily. So don't do that, get quality parts. But hey, let's do this. And here how, and this is I can't remember the company, but this is a Faro basically. And I remember seeing this video about Linde from him, and he had the one on his pedal board. So, and again, clean tone. I mean, we're really clean here. And then this is spray painted and then hand painted text. So that's something I did way back then. And just the spray paint clear coat on it. But let's put it on and let's start hearing how it sounds like. So without we can already see it's doing something. So let's bring the tone up. Keep that high. Do the clipping over there, and then a little bit of a gated sound. Let's see that. So the clipping option makes a difference here. that's like louder, but it's in the middle. I can't remember what the options are, but I like this, I think, best here. Oh, we get some wind noise here. It's so windy in here. Oh, there's sorry, I didn't see you there at first. So I do recommend something with a like really low part count, and usually fuzzes you can find some boost circuits and then simple overdrives or something. But basically a simple fuzz or a boost pedal, and then use components that are easily available. But that's my suggestion. You have pedals that have just one knob, and that's the thing. You can get them being simple doesn't mean that they are bad or anything. They can sound totally awesome. For example, here's a cool little boost pedal. One knob, really simple to do. It's Earthquaker Devices Black Eye Boost, I think. And yeah, the most hardest part as a beginner, and what I recommend, there's gonna be a video about that on my channel too, in just hopefully next week. But learning to solder properly is the like. Oh yeah, I'm using a preamp right now, so I'm actually running from here, from the electronics desk here, into a pedal board that has a preamp or two preamps and then a speaker emulation. So that's what we're hearing right now. There's a video about that also on my channel, and the last build, big build I did is actually that preamp. It's a Wampler triple rec. So I just put a fuzz pedal and also a speaker emulation into that enclosure. I wanted to see like how much stuff I can cram into that one. But right now we're hearing Wampler Tweed actually, so that's the preamp we're hearing. And it cleans up really nicely. Sorry, I might be out of tune. But yeah, cleans up. Hardest to make are some like pedals that, like I said, you have to get some part. But then I've never really got myself, so I don't do reverbs, because they require this part belt on brick, and because reverb pedals are so cheap nowadays, so I don't want to make my own, because I don't see it's really cost effective in that way, so I'd rather buy one. And same kind of goes with delays and modulation units, chorus, phaser, all that kind of stuff. I'm just nowadays mostly, when I build something, it's gonna be a overdrive, distortion, fuzz, something like that, so But yeah, we can actually. So I have this big box of stuff here. I thought I'm gonna just go through some. So those are builds I've done, not boxed up. I think there's 30 or something here, and maybe we can take a look at this delay I have here. So this is Math Professor Deep Blue delay, and I think I did a stream of this too just a while ago. So let's hook this up to my test rig, which is this. And this is quite, when you start testing out, it's nice to actually have something like this. So then you don't have to hook up all the components. You're gonna save a lot of trouble in the end if you start building pedals by making one of these. For sure. So there we go. I'm just gonna unplug that, put it here. So that was the Pharaoh fuzz. And yeah, this wasn't a simple build at all. I remember I had some issues when I was building that. But essentially building pedals not that high, you know, and you can get good at it quite fast. So yeah, then you'd have to go digital, and again, I gotta say, like, I don't think it's really. I mean, you can do multi-effects pedals as well, but it could be that then you have to learn some, like, I've seen people learn coding and stuff like that, and the chips are getting more expensive at that point. So again, like, nah, not really that cost effective. So if you'd want something like that, nowadays I just recommend, like, get a multi-effect pedal. Then, you know, there's some cool stuff. Like, I built one website I can recommend is this Parasite effect pedals or something. They have some cool stuff. And there's some synthy stuff, bit, what do you call it, bit, well, you know, those can get weird sounding. So, and I have one on my board that's kind of does this like theremin sound for the guitar. I got a song called Troglodyte on my channel, and you can actually, the beginning riff is played through that pedal. It's a fuzz pedal, but then you can get weird with it in the end, especially then if you pair it up with some reverb delay and stuff like that. But if you want something like that, that's one side that comes to mind you can check out, and I'd say those are quirky. So Steve Wilson, isn't that the I'm trying to remember. Isn't the guy a porcupine tree or something called? Maybe I remember wrong, maybe. But let's hear again. So this is a delay I've made. This one, or do you mean what is? I mean this is good. This sounds good. Really good. No, I think one of my all-time favorites is actually just a modified Tube Screamer 9 without the buffer, pretty much. And I've built so many, but that's on my pedal board like always. So yeah, that has got to be one of my favorites, I'd say. And yeah, I've done a lot. And then there's utility pedals, of course. Those are like basically always in use. APY, AP pedals, and so on. And yeah, there's so many good ones. And one above, I'd say that also gets used because I do use real amps as well, and apartment building. So I got a isolation box. They do. That's why I also recommend like get a good multi-effects unit. If you want like lots of good sounds, that's like nowadays really the way to go in my opinion. I got one on my board as well. So I just recently bought myself whole tone Ampero Mini. It is a good hobby and it helps you to also like do other kind of stuff too, not just pedals. So that's also great. And yeah, you can like I make all my own cables. I've made a MIDI device with Arduino on it, and yeah, lots of stuff. And I think I said today somewhere that the most effective thing to save money if you get into music and wanna put it together studio or something is making your own cables. You're gonna save a ton of money. Oh yeah. I had the Zoom. I had one. It's been years, but I really liked it. It had a lot of good stuff on it. Yeah. What's the RC one? It's but yeah, you can get by with those for sure, like, and I did for a while. Oh yeah, Looper. Yeah. Oh, it was the Boss one, right? If I recall correctly, my brother has one. I have it in the multi effects. Not I'm not good at using Looper. But yeah, this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think my brother has that one. Great looper. And yeah, and if I recall, you can also add a foot switch to it, or? Oh, I do explain it. I'm about to make a video about the big pedal board at some point, but I do explain a little bit of it in the videos I've already made about it. But yeah, from here, so what I'm doing here is I'm going into this box. So my guitar is going in this one, and then I'm going out here to the utility pedal board, and there's drive pedals on there that I go through, but they're not on, as we can hear. So, and then I go into the preamp so it's the amplitube, and then it's a speaker emulation, and from there I actually go into my bigger board, but nothing's on over there right now. So basically from that preamp and speaker emulation, we're just going into my audio interface and then to OBS. So I'm picking the first input of my audio interface, and then this webcam is what I use for my voice right now. So, but on the big board, then I'm going into effectively the other amp is gonna have to have some maintenance done to it, but I'm going into a Joyo amp from there, a small little hybrid head, and from there I have an actual speaker in an isolation box. I had, it was years ago, it was the 3X and something. It had like three switches and then the expression pedal thing. So, but yeah, it was a good one, and the multi effects units nowadays, like, oh man, because you can have the amp captures in them, you can upload your own IRs, impulse responses and everything. I mean, damn, they're just amazing, you know. They are just amazing. The only thing I think to consider is like how easy and fun it is to use. Like the Ampero does have like a nice touch screen that was quite fun. Alright, that's the deep blue delay. Let's take that off, and then let's check something else I've built just for fun. I'm gonna be streaming for a little while still. Before I'll start doing something else. I got a few videos I've been meaning to do. I have to set up already for phase 45. So this one I did on a stream a while ago. Came out good, works. We're gonna hear this now. And I might change the preamp we are using so you can hear that. Oh, I gotta heat up the soldering iron, that's good. And then chop these. Huh. That's got loose blue wire here. There we go. All right, let's change this sound. So yeah, now we get a bit more heavy. So this is the triple rec. It does. It's like a really good sounding, and yeah, it's the whole amp thing in a pedal, because that's the speaker emulation is in that same pedal. So, and I think, yeah, I actually made there's a video about the whole pedal as well on my channel. So if you wanna see a little bit more or hear how it sounds like, you can watch that. And I think the gain is pretty much cranked at the moment. So, but yeah, what I was about to do was, let's solder this back on properly, and then we can hear how it sounds with the phaser. There we go, that should do it. Unless we have other problems. Hopefully now. Oh yeah, and we're gonna do another stream, maybe this week, maybe next week, but I'm gonna go through that bag of pedals I've built and just play them. So, alright, so we got this, and then we got that's why I should practice. But yeah, it's a really like working phaser, but as you can see, like it's a lot of stuff for a simple pedal like that. So, you know, takes lots of parts, and then it's kind of hard to, not impossible, but sometimes it's like it's hard to get it into the enclosure. So, and then you need a bigger one. And nowadays I would also probably, because you can get the clones that are like really small of these pedals, and I think an MXR makes the small version of their phasers. So then I would just get something like that instead of having a box of this size for the pedal, most likely. And the reason for that is because, well, on my pedal board I actually use this programmable loop switcher. So yeah, that's something I do. And I don't want to really play any copyright material. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, but that's the phaser was there, so that's like, yeah, works. In the end, doesn't, like, the thing is like this whole thing here probably costs you under €4, under 3 probably. So yeah, and then boxing it up, it's usually like around 15 under. You need this foot switch, jacks, the enclosure, and yeah, you can get all those for under 15. So you know. Yeah. All right. What should we check next? So we have a bag of stuff, but what do we have that's already been done? Oh yeah, let's check the thing that started it all. So of course it was the clone centaur. So that's what it really started this whole hobby for me, because I saw it on the internet, like what? Why? And by then they weren't so expensive. Like what they cost now is just ridiculous, and it's stupid. I'll just say that. Like, no one should be buying an original clone, you know, for the sound for like €5,000. No. Collectible value, that's a different thing. I'm not gonna get into that discussion, but the thing is like, yeah, if you want something that sounds like clone, you can have clones. So I'm gonna switch the preamp because we're gonna hear the clone sounds. So let's do that. There we go. So we got our tweed back. So this is the tweed preamp over at my board. And let's then kick on the clone, and I've actually captured this clone, and I've captured it with tonex, so you can get the captures on tone. Check my side, and then you can. Let's drag the cane. Well, let's say I don't have DS1. It's the distortion Boss DS1, right? I can't say I have experience with that pedal, but modding overdrive, and I've modded Rats, TS, tube screamers, muffs, so it's basically pretty much the same. What do you kind of like, what do you want to do with the mods? That's the question usually, like, what do you want to be doing? Why do you want to mod your? Because then the principles in overdrives, distortions, it's pretty much, they're all just kind of variants. So once you know how to mod one, you kind of already have a understanding on what to do to mod something else. And I do have, there's videos about modded rats. My modded rat, I call it the fat rat. There's a modded fuzz I did, and then there's Tube Screamer I did mod also. So in those I think I explain what do you want to change, and if you want something on a switch like a bright switch or you know stuff like that. Aggressively cleanish. That's kind of weird. I would look into something else almost, except the pedal. Maybe I should build a DS1. It's been on my list. I haven't just done it. Yeah, like so then when you go. Yeah, because I haven't run into that kind of problem myself with, you know, all the drives I've been using. That sounds weird. Oh. I would have to know a little bit more about the setup probably. But yeah, of course, it's... It could be also like it's kind of the nature of course. I think in that way. Are you running it into a already like distorted amp or in into a gain channel? Oh, is it modded? Yeah, I don't know what have they done with it. Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's like they might have fucked it up. You know, that sucks. What kind of mod they mid boost? Oh, the diode. I was thinking like, could it be that they changed the diodes and made it, because that can give you a little, so the clipping can be quite different when you change the diodes. I mean, for instance, in my modded Raptors, I got 3 options. So I got your basic 1 and 9, 14. I got LEDs, and those like they sound totally different. So I don't know what they put there, but I think that could be. And that's why if I do mods like that, I don't want it. I wouldn't have them changed. I would have an option. So I would have the original diode pair, or how many is in there, and then I would have an option. Yeah. Blue and LED and other mode is 2 diodes. Then I can, if you had got all those options, I wouldn't think it's the diodes then. Yeah. I don't know. That's hard to say. Hard to say what's the problem there. And then of course the mid boost. Yeah, I mean. You know. but I hope you sort it out. And of course, if that's like, if you feel like that's not what you, then I would just try another pedal if I could, if I can, you know. But like I said, it's always good to, of course, just if you're having any problems, and I'm just saying this like generally, if you're having any problems with any pedal, just try it out straight to the amp without anything else. So that's always, of course, just for people who might be watching, something you should do while troubleshooting, I'll say. So, but yeah, this is the clone. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I've been building this for quite a while. I am not that well versed, let's say, on the mathematics or that kind of stuff, but you know, with the builds and so on, I've gotten into a good spot myself. But then there's some other channels, I don't know if I recommended any of them in my, that are more getting it more technical. But yeah, thank you very much, appreciate it. That's nice, and I really just hope you can, you know, find something helpful there. So, and this is just a hobby that I'll continue doing. Like, I don't need any more pedals, but it's just kind of fun to build them anyways. So I do here and there. And I also got a few other things though, so I've been meaning to do a MIDI controller as well that I could use with that. So I got this whole Tone Ampero Mini multi-effects, and apparently it does take USB MIDI. So I want to make a MIDI controller, and I have done before. So I do have a few Arduinos there lying around, and I also want to be able to control my amplitube and my DAW software and all other stuff with it, and have probably a few expression pedals hooked up to it. So that's something I might be documenting too when I get around to it. So I'm just gonna, so yeah, the clone. I mean, this is what started it all for me, because like I said, they were stupidly expensive even then. They're just like right now, like why? So yeah, and then I went to the internet. I was, what? You can build your own, like for how much? And I was like, what? Like under 30 euros. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, and especially because if you do the MIDI thing and put, you know, so that's so it would control like all my synths and so on my software. And the nice thing about making the MIDI controller that I'm thinking about making is, I think I could have 6, and I'm gonna leave them. So I would have jacks, stereo jacks, so I could hook up 6 expression pedals to it then, and then control stuff with those in my you know, DAW or any other music software. So, and yeah, I actually made this volume pedal myself that can work as an expression pedal too, by pressing the foot switch that I installed in it too. So instead of buying a volume pedal, I just got the enclosure, the potentiometers and so on, the foot switch, and made one myself. And it's really great because then on my pedal board, that's going into the whole Tone Ampero, which I can then program, so the expression pedal can, well, do a lot of stuff paired with that. And then when I don't want to be using the expression, I just press it down and it becomes a volume pedal. So then I can do all kinds of nice like volume swells or whatnot. So yeah, that's a cool little thing too. But yeah, so that's the clone, like. And then we can crank the gain a bit more. Full. I mean, it's a great sounding pedal. I can't deny that. And then what we. Full treble. So yeah, it has gain. And then we can make it, of course, like. But I like that sound out of my clone, like the pride has attack. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not that. All right, I think I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm just gonna we just take a look at, I mean, just a little break, and then we can take a look at a few weird ones, or not weird ones. This is also, I think they made a re-version of this. So this is Fox Tone, I can't remember. It's basically a fuzz that has an octave up, down, or this sort of thing. So, and this is one I really like too. Like, I dig this a lot. And then we have this order filter thing, which sounds wacky. So let's check those, and probably after that I'm gonna be ending my stream. How long has it been running? Well, not that long, but anyway, I need to get to other stuff. So I'll be right back, and then let's hear those a little bit. Damn it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, this would just pair fine with, you know, as stacking drives. Yeah. Because you can, as we can hear, you can have this kind of like subtle, like, and if you want to brighten up with it too, so you can do that, and that's also what kind of stacking drives. And you can do a little bit of tone sculpting with them as well. But yeah, I would, and I have used my clone like that. And then there's lots of clones, and the pedal that, like, for some reason they make it the original size, which is like, why? Because you can have it again in a enclosure size of this. So I'd much rather get a clone that's like smaller than the huge box. I don't know why, but yeah, well, they want to replicate something, so, but because it doesn't matter if it looks like it should be about the sound. So then it's like, why have something big and clunky when you can have it in a much smaller space again? Like, but that's just me. That's the way I think. To each their own. I mean. All right, let's switch up. Let's take that out. Let's put it into the bus box. Turn everything down in case something's. I mean, I haven't played with this one in a long while, so I don't know what's going on inside. It could be it has those cheap jacks still in it, so of course, yeah, we need some power. There we go. Alright, at least it's powering up. So this is a funky sounding pedal, as we can already hear. So I'm using a, what do I gotta say, humbucker on the bridge setting. So let's check the neck. And the octave setting's up right now, as we can see. So then if we take the tone all the way down, so we get that kind of. Then let's coil split the neck pickup. And it's a totally different thing. Then down. And then let's put it up. But yeah, this is like a, I mean, I like this one a lot. A cool little box. And it became in this. The old ones have this big box again, and it was covered in some sort of fabric. I can't remember the name. Like, what's the name for that right now? But yeah. And those go for big money again, I think, nowadays. So that you can build your own for a lot less. Alright, then this little thing. So this is a filter of a sort. Can't remember. Park Autowall or something like that, I think was the name of this. And by the way, the red llama here that we built, you can see the layout. So it's the dirt box side I get these from. And usually it's in the description, like the link to the layout. I can't really recommend this build to like anyone. Like there's much better fuzz, or I think it was an overdrive pedal. But no. No. So do something else. So yeah. Helicopter. Oh man, that's you know, I rarely play with these kind of pedals. No, not really that much. But yeah, I mean that could be fun though, paired with some more stuff, and you know, just having like a. Yeah, not really my thing. No, but you know, I mean, it was a fun build. A bit more labors. I think I had a hard time putting it into this box because of how big the layout is actually. But yeah, I managed to get it in there. And yeah, what else? Well, we went through some some of the stuff and pedals that I've been making. But then let's see if this one works. This is just your basic boost. Really, really basic, I'll say. And it doesn't seem to be... No. It is working. So then... So one effective way, I think, stacking gain is to have a boost also over there, you know. So I think that's a good way also, or something you can have on your stack. Yeah, I think my guitar is going out of tune also. But yeah, that's how the desk looks like. And I think today I released a video about the most essential tools that you need if you want to start building pedals, and then also the tools I use all the time. And then there's gonna be videos about coming up about components, like what to stock up on and so on. I don't know if I remembered to put the wires. I think I did. And then, you know, just soldering and some of the basic stuff. And then one video about the common problems you're gonna run into and how to try and avoid them. That's something I also did. Still in the editing phase. And then I'm trying to also just come up with or have videos about, you know, other guitar related stuff as well, and also about playing and how to get certain tones and sounds, you know, for example, from your favorite artists. And there's the YouTube, I can't remember, it's like community page or post. Yeah, so I made a post asking like which artist would you or band to cover next. I think the options are Led Zeppelin, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then David Gilmour right now, because, you know, those are pretty iconic. And when I do that, I make the sounds in amplitube, and then I share the presets, you know, for free, of course. So and that's just something fun I do for myself. Oh yeah, so I do have, yeah, that's a great question. So I do have breadboard, and I have experimented on breadboard. So I actually came up with this my own like fuzz pedal that, well, really pretty much sounds like any fuzz you could ever. I can get any fuzz sound I ever want out of that one pedal, and I also put a boost on it. So, and that was a result of breadboarding, and yeah, I do. Yeah, I have. I've built a few. I've done kits, but I've built a few. So yeah, let me show you. So I can. So this is an MXR Distortion Plus that I breadboarded, and then I have a few mods here that I tested out, and they're on switches. Oh, the guitar I've built myself is actually it's not available. No, it's in the closet. I can't get it right now. But if you mean my very own build, the kit I have a video of. And hey, maybe I can do a little stream because sorry, I'll try and because I have another desk I work on guitars at here. So I've been meaning and thinking about doing a stream where, well, I show my pedal board and then other stuff, instead of this like so that is a nice suggestion. So I'll put that on my list, and you know uh, it will be coming up. And like I today I said, I posted the comment about it. Actually, I do got some wood, so just your planks to build a few actually. So that would be a nice series of videos to actually make. How you make a guitar, yeah, so on. Something simple. And also I've made my own pickup winding machine. I wound my own pickups and everything, so that's another thing I'm trying to get to at some point. But we'll see how it goes, Unfortunately, there's other things I need to put my time in. Otherwise, I would be doing much more of this time. But yeah. So, but yeah, I'll do that. I hope you get notified. I'll try to also just schedule my streams for now on, so you can know in advance that hey, one's coming up. So then if the subject is interesting, you can decide if you want to take a look or not. But yeah, breadboarding can be frustrating, but it can be fun. And so this breadboard actually, one thing to keep in mind is like just don't stick anything to, that's not supposed to go there. So I've fucked this one up, and I've marked the places where it's not connecting anymore. Yeah, and the funny things about the pickup winder is, so I had one like this Canon printer and scanner, and as we know, those are made to, well, go obsolete, manufactured obsolete, what do you call it? But yeah, anyway, so basically what happened is the ink cartridge waste, blah blah blah, got full, and it was like, and then it bricked, and I couldn't even scan with the thing. So I just took it apart, and I had a molder from it, and I was like, and then I went to the internet. I was like, can I actually could I make my own pickup winder? So my pickup winder is made from a like printer motor, and the whole thing when you get down to it. So I had to order this display, so I know how many wounds I've done, and then a sensor that tells me and then I just had a switch and a speed control unit and all that. And then I used plywood for the enclosure that I put that all in, and that was just going in the trash, so I got that for free. So in the end it cost me under, I'd say 15 euros or something, the whole thing, to put it together. And it but yeah, I had to get some nuts and bolts, so I'll say 20. And it has speed control, then the counter for how many wounds you've done, and also I can switch it in reverse, so the switch the direction it's turning on in. So it's basically, but I noticed the last time I tried it out, and I was like, yeah, I can make this a lot better. So I still have it, but I'm just gonna take a look at it, and I'll probably take it apart, and then I'll get a new enclosure, all that, add some stability to it, and make sure that everything's straight and so on. But yeah, and after that, pickup winding, that's another thing that people like spend crazy amounts of money into is pickups. And then when you know, and you're like, why would you ever again like pay blah 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 for a pickup? No. And then I had this, so I took a course in guitar building at some point, and you can still, I think the guy still has websites. So he's a master builder, and Veijo Rautia, been making guitars since, and then wound pickups for like over 20 years, 25 at least or something. So he knows. And we had a discussion about, pickups and so on. He also said like, yeah, that the cheap Chinese ones, like there's nothing wrong with them. They're actually, really good if it's just, done right and potted and everything. So, and that comes from a guy who actually sells and wants his pickups and sells pairs for like, but he kept it, the thing is like he didn't overcharge. So you could get a pair of pickups, I'll say to your specifications, from him for, just around like 250 or something. So he was great in that way. He didn't like try to make his work sound like magic or shit like that, which I respect. So yeah, that's another thing I would like to be doing at some point. So, but so much stuff, so much stuff we can do. So it's kind of hard. What am I gonna do next? So, but they're there waiting for me to pick it up and start doing it. And then of course I need to go somewhere to do some of the work, so I can't do it all here. So I need to go to the woodworking shop and so on. So that's kind of like what keeps me from doing it. All right. Yeah, I'm getting hungry and everything, so it would be a nice time for me to get going. If there's anything else on your minds there, just ask away, and or anything you want to say. It's like I can still say something about it, but if not, I'm just gonna again at the end of this say like, no, I can't recommend the Red Llama. I've done a few of these way huge pedals, and like nothing really special about these. This one seemed to be, people had this squeal from what I read, so that too is like, well, it's like there's better builds you can do, much better ones. I mean, this was fun because it was like the parts count is low, it's small and so on. So but yeah, I'm gonna take these apart, and I am gonna put this in not even probably in a bag. I'll salvage what parts I can from it, and I'm just gonna take this to throw that away into the pile of blah. Into the pile of blah. I think describes it pretty well. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show one last thing. So again, I've shown this a couple of times. We went through a few, but here is a bag of pedals I've built. So let's see a few. So I'll be playing through these in a stream. It's gonna be coming up. So oh, there's a sun face here. I'd like to also like take tone models out of all these and put them in the tone net. This one actually I got the right. So this was all about the transistors. So I got one pair of good ones here, and then the bias. You have to be really like tuning it in. Tone bender. Well, I call it the tone bender. I've done this pedal so many times. I don't know if there's like a what that fourth pot here is. I think I might have modded it or something. So Greer, Black Mountain did that a while ago. Nah, nothing too special again. Another fuzz. Do we have anything fun here? Oh, they did that on the stream. And I compared it to my original Marshall Drive Master. No difference. So I have done the Distortion Plus without mods. JHS Morning Glory. So like I said, oh, and this was a good one too, the Access Fuzz, I think. These are stupid expensive as well. I checked like how much, what, 500 used? Alright, well, I got one. But it wasn't that special that I even boxed it up, so man. But yeah, it's just mostly like drives and buses and distortion and so on. And then when you build a few, you're like, well, you know, it's all kind of the same. So like, what's the? So then you just end up doing them for fun. And you know, it sounded different, so then you can put your favorite on board. And like I said, it's just nowadays when I build something like that, I just mod it. So that's the fun part, pretty much now. It's like, oh, hey, let's take this. Oh, it sounds great. Well, can I make it more versatile or sound it even better, like switching things around? And yeah, sometimes you can. And sometimes it's like, well, not worth the trouble, I'll say. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna get going. Thanks for anyone watching the stream, and if you like have questions or anything, just put them in the comments and I'll get back to them. And if there's you know, suggestions or stuff you've been wondering about, just put those in the comments as well, and I'll try to tackle it on the next stream or something. So I do take suggestions. It's fun to, you know, work that way too. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you good day, or you know, whatever it is over there where you might be. I'm gonna fix myself something to eat, and hold on, let's do the stupid. So there we go. So yeah, thank you very much, and I hope I'll see you again, and you know, then just ask away. Yeah, have fun. I'm off. Bye bye.